Yo, what's up, guys? I want to talk to you guys today about living in the Amazon jungle. Okay, this video is for anybody who maybe wants to travel to the Amazon, or maybe you want to be like myself and live there for a little while, or maybe you're just curious as to what it's like. Okay, if you fall into any of those categories, this video is for you. Okay, so a few things I want to go over. First of all, guys, the probably the most obvious one too. I'll just go ahead and throw it out there, get it out of the way. It's really hot and humid in the Amazon jungle. Okay, I was there from August to roughly almost the start of December. Okay, and I stayed in two different places in the Amazon. The first one was in Iquitos, Peru, and I was specifically there for 3 months. Okay, before I went to Leticia, Colombia. And as I was saying, it's pretty hot and humid in the Amazon jungle, okay? And so you really don't need to bring any coats. Actually, it's probably the less clothes the better, okay? When I was going to sleep at night, I would either not even have a blanket and keep the fan running, or maybe just use a tiny, thin little blanket, okay? So it's hot enough that you really don't need clothes, and honestly, you really don't even need blankets either, okay? But you definitely need a fan, and if you're lucky, super lucky, unlike myself, you'll also be able to use air conditioning, or maybe you'll stay at a hotel with air conditioning. But if you're a budget traveler like myself, odds are you're probably just gonna have to put up with a fan and no blanket, and it's really not that bad, okay? So that's the first one, hot and humid. The second one is this one might also be a little bit obvious, but let's go ahead and get the obvious ones out of the way, okay? It's there's lots of rain, guys. It rains probably every day that I was there. Almost it rained, okay? And it's probably like raining for a half hour, an hour every day. So it's not like always raining all day every day, but when it does rain, it rains and it pours down, okay? Random little side story, when I was staying in an apartment in Iquitos, one time it rained so hard that the roof of the place that I was staying actually broke through, and there was rain flooding into my apartment building. Not actually into my apartment, thankfully, but that just goes to show you how heavy the rain can be in the Amazon. So hot and humid, lots of rain. Thirdly, there's generally no hot water. So if you're the kind of person who likes to take those long meditative hot water showers, and I did a lot of that myself when I actually had the chance to, and I do have the hot shower again, so I tended to like those too from time to time. You're not going to be able to do that in the Amazon jungle, okay? Unless you're staying at a really nice hotel, and there's lots of nice hotels in the Amazon, okay? But generally you won't be able to find hot water. So if that's something that you're just not going to be able to live without, then the Amazon's probably not going to be the place you want to go unless you want to spend a little bit extra, okay? Number 4, there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, you get my point, of insects, okay? To kind of put this in perspective, how relevant or how prevalent the insects are in the Amazon. I had probably 20 different mosquito bites on me at any given time while I was there. Okay, so if you're gonna have a problem with that, again, the Amazon's probably not gonna be the place for you. Okay, another funny little story. When I was first going there, or when I was first entering into the Amazon, I was noticing. I actually took a cargo boat from Pucallpa over to Iquitos, and on that cargo boat, I was noticing that there's lots of flies on the boat. I don't really care about flies. They can land on me. I really won't mess with them because you can't really kill them anyways because they're so quick. But long story short, those quote unquote flies that I thought I was having all over me, they were actually mosquitoes, okay? And so that was kind of like my welcome into the Amazon, was just getting bit up by a ton of different mosquitoes. Okay, and it's not just the mosquitoes and the flies, and there's also these giant cockroaches. I don't even know if cockroaches is the right word, but lots of insects, guys. And also, on that note, when I was staying in Iquitos for 3 months, I kept having an ant infestation in my room, and for a while I was trying to fight it. You know, tried to get rid of the ants, kill the ants. Even tried spraying them down with my landlord one time. And every time I would do this, every time I would try to fight the insects, they would always come back. And so one of the things I learned in the Amazon is just kind of let it go. Just leave the insects alone. There's really not much you can do about it. Okay, so if you don't like insects, if you don't like the hot weather, if you don't like rain, and you can't live without hot water, then probably should look at a different place to stand. Okay, and then another one for you guys. Internet. Okay, this was actually a big problem for me. Okay, typically when you're in the Amazon, if you're like myself and you want to go to a place that's like as far away from civilization as possible, um, you're probably gonna have really slow internet, and there's a reason for this. There's a lot of cities in the Amazon, for instance, the two that I stayed at, Leticia, Colombia, and Iquitos, Peru, where the cities aren't actually connected to the mainland of the country. So there's no landline internet. So all the internet has to come in through satellite. And satellite internet, guys, it's pretty slow. One of the apartments I stayed at, one of them didn't even have internet. It was kind of like, why would we have internet sort of thing? But the other one that did stay at that had internet, it was only 1 megabyte per second divided by 4 people. So imagine trying to go on, for example, Facebook or YouTube. It would probably take me typically at least a minute, if not more, just to load one page. So that got really old. You know, I like working online, and so I had to kind of get creative as to how I was making money. And long story short, I ended up doing more freelance writing. But anyways, that's the Amazon jungle for you guys. If you have any more questions, like I said, I lived there for 4 months. I'm not like the biggest expert in the world, but I have a general handle on how things work, and I speak English. There's not a whole lot of English speakers in the Amazon jungle, so feel free to leave me a question, leave me a comment, and I would love to hear from you guys. And that's it for you guys. Peace.